Hi, this is Cassendre Xavier continuing to talk about my experience of depression. Another thing that really helps me is diet. I've been a raw vegan since 2005, not 100% all the time, but it has significantly helped my life. And I remember when I was diagnosed in 1993 with depression, I was diagnosed with other things, which if anybody who's real, like a long-time fan of my newsletters and things, you know everything. You know, you pretty much know a lot of what's going on with me, but I'm not going to put that here, you know, in case, you know, I don't want to do that. So, diet, right? So, when I was diagnosed in 1993, my therapist at the time didn't ask me what I was eating. And that's how it is with Western allopathic medicine. They are certainly really great for wonderful things. You know, if you break your arm, you don't want to go into a raw vegan restaurant. You need to go into an emergency room. There's a place for everything. For diagnostics, they're very good for that. But when it comes time to talking about physical ailments, sometimes, you know, a shrink doesn't know. That's everything, you know. So if she had asked, I would have told her that I was eating close to an entire loaf of sourdough bread every day, and that I was wheat allergic. And I didn't know at the time I was wheat allergic. I know that now, just through being raw vegan, because or raw foodist even, just because after a certain amount of time, your body just starts to communicate with you in new ways, and you get images, and you just know things in new ways that you didn't know before. And I know that I'm allergic to wheat, so I avoid wheat now. So there are studies that show that certain things that people eat create mood disorders and create other things that can be completely healed because the element has been removed, you know? So I'm not saying that there are so many different causes of depression, and I think I have several of them. I think it's genetic. I think I have that. I think, or hereditary, whatever that is. Chemical, all that stuff, brain thingy. I think it's also dependent on, it's affected by your life situation. It's trauma related. So clearly I've had trauma. I think that even if you don't have official trauma that you can remember, you are in life on the planet, and things are just set up in a way that it's challenging for the part of us that's spiritual to be on the earth plane. It's very painful in many ways. So it's joyous as well. So there are all kinds of trauma, and that can cause depression as well. But nutritionally, so many illnesses can be healed nutritionally, and I find that when I'm on point with my food and I'm eating a high percentage of uncooked plant foods, I'm not depressed at all. You know, for the last 2 months I've been eating a high percentage of cooked food. I've even been eating meat and dairy, and surprise, for the last 2 weeks I've been depressed. You'd think after a while be kind. Anyway, so it's a journey. So what has helped me significantly is diet. So far I've covered spirituality, religion, art, bibliotherapy, music, diet, nutrition, exercise, or I like to call it bod movery, because that exercise has such a negative thingy sometimes, but so those are things that help me. And thoughts that help me get by a depression are, this too shall pass, everything's going to be okay. A few years ago I had this boyfriend, and I just asked him to tell me every now and then. I was like, can you just say it? And he would be like, everything's going to be okay. Sometimes that's all I need to hear, you know, everything's going to be okay. So reading a lot of books that are inspiring. I have books on my nightstand, and they're just constantly a touchstone for me. I have like 4 different translations of the Holy Bible. I have a lot of different kinds of, I have A Course in Miracles. I have a lot of books by Doreen Virtue, Sanea Roman, you know, just a lot of different, Shakti Gawain, a lot of personal growth, spirituality, books that help me feel better. And service. Service is another thing. Love, like getting us out of ourselves. Like when I'm depressed, I know now one thing that will help me is to write a newsletter. Not that I always write, you know, I just know that sometimes if something's going on and I write a newsletter, once I've hit send, I feel better. You know what I mean? So it's like, try to inspire. When you're depressed, try to go out and inspire people. And I share what's worked for me. So I hope that some things that I've said help you. And I guess I'm really very grateful that over the years I've overcome a lot of things. Like, I've overcome blaming others. I've accepted things. I've accepted that I've chosen my life. I've chosen everything in my life. My parents, my current struggles. I've chosen it, and I continue to choose it day by day, and that's empowering. I recognize that I still have quite a bit of victim mentality going on, particularly in my career and financial area. So, yeah. So, a couple of examples of my work before I go. I'll give you my website, which is CassandreXavier.com. Xavier.com. Xavier. CassendreXavier.com. So through there you can see about my books, my ebooks, and my albums. I have live albums and studio albums. And since 2007, I've been working on a 4-part Amethyste Affirmations. Affirmations for Survivors series. So the first 2 came out in 2007. The first one was called Affirmations for Survivors, Self-Love, and the second one is called Affirmations for Survivors, Spirituality. The last 2 that I'm working on now are Affirmations for Survivors, Sexuality, and Affirmations for Survivors, Life Skills. So that's totally what's going on in my life, and I've been working on these for the last 2 years or so, 3 years. And so yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to be sharing the things that have helped me on the journey. I'm very grateful, because there was a time when I didn't want to reparent myself. I was resentful, and I'm doing that, and I spend lots of time with my inner child every day. We just went to the movies last week. It was really fun. And I'm making progress. I've released like 30 pounds of excess weight in the last 6 months. I'm in healthy relationships. I'm very easily saying no to things that aren't good for me in the area of relationships. And I'm working on creating a beautiful career for myself. So that includes making it possible for you to support me. So if you like my work, please do support it however you can, whether that means forwarding a newsletter, saying a prayer, buying a CD, buying a book, buying an ebook, donating at paypal.com, and click send money, and the send money address is cxmusic@gmail.com. You would be amazed how much whatever little donation you make makes a difference, because I have thousands and thousands of friends, and so even though the amounts I've gotten, I just want to affirm that I've been getting donations, and thank you, and please keep them coming, because you're helping me create a better life for myself, and I want to continue sharing these tools that I've learned with as many people as possible, and the more you help me do that, the more people that I can help, and the more experiences I can bring to you too, by way of products, by way of concerts, by way of whatever I can do. And I also recognize that you are not the source of my abundance. I totally recognize that. So, and I'm willing to move where the flow is. And if the flow isn't here, then it's going to be someplace else, and that's fine. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep giving and sharing and being as much as I possibly, I know that I am, but just as much as I am courageous to share, which is becoming, kind of a lot, quite frankly. So thanks for listening. Make yourself a beautiful day. Peace, love, light, blessings. Ciao.